Hey guys, Miss Bell and Miss Hung again. So we just got booted off because apparently we were doing copyright material. So something about my voice, I think, must sound like Beyonce or something like that because we just got booted. So this is part 2, and we just finished that workout. And hopefully you're sticking with us and you found this second part to tonight's workout. Mr. Hung, like we were saying, we're going to work on our fundamentals. We're going to work on our turns, and Mr. Hung's going to be doing all of his stances and all of his turns from fighting stance. Okay, so if you are a white through green belt, you should be doing the stances and the turns as Mr. Hung is doing it from fighting stance. I'm going to be doing the more advanced front stance turns, but we're going to be doing the same turn each time, just from different stances, okay? So if you're white through green, pay attention to what Mr. Hung is doing. If you're blue and above, then look at what I'm doing. So Mr. Lee, why don't you explain what you're doing? We're going to start with a short turn.
Okay, for short turn, for fighting stance version, without moving your legs, you can spin on your feet, but without moving your legs, you're going to turn around behind. Okay. Short turn is an easy, quick way to turn around and look behind you when you're in fighting stance. Note, I'm not moving my legs, I'm just spinning my feet. Spinning on my feet.
Spinning on those heels, yeah. Okay. Absolutely. So short turn is one of our simplest ones from fighting stance, but not necessarily from front stance. Okay, so when you're in front stance doing a short turn, when you're in front stance, you want to make sure that your 2 feet are basically on the train tracks. So think of it as there's train tracks and my 2 feet need to be on those train tracks. Okay, so both facing forward, parallel to each other. The other thing is you also want to be on 2 opposite corners of a square. Okay, so they're going to be equal distance in depth as they are in width. Rectangular, you would be skinny but deep. At other side rectangular, you would be shallow but wide, okay? So we want to make sure that we are on that 2 corners of a square, basically. For short turn from a front stance, you want to basically take your foot in on a diagonal from your back foot, and you want to take that same diagonal out to the side. So you're going to bring it in and then out, and then you turn, okay? So you can think you're making a triangle that goes in and out. So that triangle is the same angle on either side with your front foot as your center point. So again, short turn, we're here. We're going to bring it in, out, and then turn. Terrible balance there, Miss Mel. What's key is whenever you're doing any turns from front stance, you don't want to be bobbing up and down. Okay, you want to try and maintain that same height the whole time, okay? And yeah, so that's it. So why don't we do a couple of short turns? Why don't you call it, and I'll do ones from the back, giving myself a little bit more space. You can do them from the front, Mr.
And get in fighting stance or front stance, if you would. Okay, let's start with right leg back. Short turn, turn. Short turn, turn. Short turn, turn. Now let me face sideways so you can see some from the side as well. Still right leg back. Short turn, turn. Short turn, turn. Short turn, turn. Let me switch so you see the front now.
Other side.
Short turn, turn. Short turn, turn. Short turn, turn.
All right. So those are your short turns. Most of those are cakewalk for all of you. So hopefully easy. Not so easy on my broken toe, but okay. So let's go with long turn next. Okay, Mr. Hung.
Okay. So like the name implies, long turn is going to take a little bit longer than short turn to do. Okay. You're going to take your front leg, put it behind you, and then turn around. Okay. Now, when I do a short turn, I turn towards my front. When I do my long turn, after I move my front leg back, I turn towards my back. go towards my back and turn around. Okay, that's a long turn. One more time. Front leg, turn behind, turn towards my back, turning around. Both long turn and short turn are used to look behind you, but short turn, you go towards your front, long turn, you go towards your back. And there are some differences as well. For example, right now I have my left foot forward, right foot back. If I do a short turn, I end up switching my legs. Now I have my right forward, my left back. But if I do a long turn, the same foot will end up in the front. Okay,
that's great for a fighting stance. Now, what are we going to do for front stance? It's basically the exact same motion. We're going to take our front leg, put it behind us, and turn towards our back side. But it looks a little different. When you're in a front stance, you want to make sure that you are on that diagonal. So where I'm throwing this leg is actually the third point in a line. Okay. So I want to visualize that third point, because as I throw my leg back to that third point and turn, if I haven't pre-visualized that, this is a common error where you think, okay, I just have to put my leg behind you, and you end up here. And as you turn, then you become too skinny, okay? So visualize where that foot, that front leg is going, see it in your mind's eye, throw it there, and then turn, and you should have your feet set, okay? So same thing, front leg goes behind you, turning to your backside, okay? So we'll just do a couple of those. Ready?
Okay. Get in your stance. Long turn, turn. Long turn, turn. Long turn, turn. Side view. Long turn, turn. Long turn, turn. Long turn, turn. Long turn, turn.
All right, great. Okay, so now we're going to go through quarter turn and reverse quarter turn together. Okay? So once you have that.
Okay, now I am in my fighting stance. I want to figure out my directions. That's going to be the key for quarter and reverse quarter turn. Okay, I have my belly direction, and then I have my back direction. For both of these, I'm going to move my back leg in first, and then I'm going to turn either towards my belly or towards my back, depending on which one I'm doing. For quarter turn, you're going to turn towards your belly. So I'm in my fighting stance with right leg back. I'm going to move my right leg in, turn towards my belly, and then the same leg goes out, back into fighting stance. Okay, that was a quarter turn. Reverse quarter turn goes the other way. So I'm in fighting stance, right leg back, right leg comes in, turn towards my back, and then right leg goes back out again, back into fighting stance. That was a reverse quarter turn.
Excellent. So the same logic applies when you're in front stance, okay? So if you're turning towards your front side, this foot's going to come in. And remember, we're working with triangles. So this back foot is going to come in on the diagonal and go back out on the diagonal, okay? So as I'm here in my stance, I want to bring it in and bring it out and then turn my body basically 45 degrees onto, 90 degrees. 90 degrees to the right or left, depending on which way my belly's facing. Okay, reverse quarter, same thing. I bring that foot in on the diagonal, back on the diagonal, very similar to a short turn, but instead of turning all the way around, I'm only turning a quarter of a turn. Okay, so front quarter turn and reverse quarter turn. Okay, all right. We're going to move on to front leg quarter turn and reverse quarter turn really quickly. So go for that one.
Okay. So I'm in fighting stance again, but instead of moving my back leg in, since we're doing front leg quarter turn now, I'm going to move my front leg back, do my quarter turn or reverse quarter turn. Now, remember for quarter turn, we go towards our belly, the same thing here. So after I move my back leg in, I turn towards my belly, and then same leg goes out. Reverse front leg quarter turn, same thing. So front leg goes in, turn towards my back, and front leg goes out. If you do back leg quarter turn versus front-legged quarter turn, you will end up turning the different direction. So I'm in fighting stance. Here's my back leg quarter turn. I end up facing that way. Now, I come back to the same beginning. Now I'm going to do front leg quarter turn. So my front leg comes in, I turn to my belly, front leg comes out, and I face a different direction. Okay, so figuring out your direction is key for quarter and reverse, whether you're doing front or back leg.
Absolutely. And obviously the same logic applies if you're in front stance. So if I'm in front stance and I'm doing a front leg quarter turn, I'm going belly direction with my front leg. And with this one, I want to bring this foot inside on my diagonal and go outside on the diagonal. So I'll come over here a bit more. So I'm coming in on my diagonal and out on my diagonal. And my front leg remains my front leg, okay? So reverse, I just go back the same way. So I'm heading towards my back side. So if I'm doing a front leg reverse, I'm heading towards my back side, bring it in, bring it out, front leg reverse quarter turn, okay? So reverse quarter turn, front leg reverse quarter turn, and front leg quarter turn, those four really go together. And you have to really start working on which is my back side, where am I going? And different instructors will have different terminology. So some instructors will say rear leg quarter turn versus front leg quarter turn. And some instructors like myself, I don't qualify rear leg, I just say quarter turn. And I'm assuming that you will know that a quarter turn is a rear-legged turn as opposed to when I say front-leg quarter turn, okay? So this goes for the teenagers as well. They have all of these front stance turns as well, so we're making sure that everybody's got the terminology correct. So Mr. Hong and I, we're going to do all our quarter turns, okay? So we're going to start here, right leg back. We're just going to do rear leg quarter turn, okay? Front leg quarter turn. Oh, look, I'm getting close. Okay, hop back a little bit. There we go. Now we're going to do front leg reverse quarter turn. And then we're going to do front leg quarter turn. Sorry, bad toe. Okay, so you can see how the four work together. Okay, got those ones? Good? All right. So the last technique that we really want to do is three-quarter turn, okay? And it's the one that tends to trip people up the easiest, okay? I'm going to let Mr. Hung do the fighting stance version.
Okay. Again, I'm in fighting stance with right leg back. You can break three-quarter turn down into steps to help you figure out the direction for this. You're going to start with a reverse quarter turn. Remember, back leg comes in, turn towards your back. Same leg goes out, and then you're going to follow the reverse quarter turn with a short turn. Okay, you got to put the two together for it to be a three-quarter turn. So I'm going to put them together now. Fighting stance, right leg back. Okay, that's a three-quarter turn. Now you can also skip the middle step by just taking your back leg, put it towards your back side, and unwind. Okay, so. Two ways for you to figure out how to do three-quarter turn.
Absolutely. And either way is correct. I mean, we're not going to, get mad at you for bringing your foot in and out versus going straight there as long as where you end up is the correct place. Three-quarter turn from a front stance tends to be really tricky for some people. Because remember what I said about pre-visualizing where that front foot was going to go on a long turn? Super important for this to happen with your three-quarter turn. You want to make sure that this back foot, you know where it's going to go. And this back foot is actually going to be the third point in a diagonal in front of you, okay? And if I am facing this direction, three-quarter turning is going to take me all the way around to face that direction, okay? So if I'm here and I throw this foot all the way to my third point, okay? And that's the trick, is visualizing it, throwing that back leg to that point, and unwinding to where I'm now facing my point. So I've gone three-quarters all the way around over to here. And really making sure that you know where that foot is going to go is key, because as soon as you go to throw it, you start turning your back to it. And it's really hard to keep your back and watching. So that's why you keep it in your mind's eye where it ends up. Big mistake people make is they throw it and it ends up over here instead of there. So as they unwind, my legs are really shallow and deep, okay? And then I end up falling over, okay? So I'll just throw a couple more of those. Back leg, again, comes all the way through, and I rotate out, back into my stance, okay? All right, Mr. Hung, we're gonna do some 3/4 turns, all right? Put him right leg back. Okay, ready? We'll go 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go off the mat here. Whee! All right, good. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna challenge you, okay? Mr. Hunt's gonna take the front, I'm gonna take the back, because I'm gonna take up much more space. What we're gonna do is I'm just gonna call some turns, and we're gonna try and keep up. You try and keep up with us at home, and we'll see if we can keep it going from there. Are you ready? All right, we're gonna start fighting stance right leg back. We're gonna go short turn, turn. Long turn, turn. 3/4 turn, turn. Reverse quarter turn, turn. Front leg quarter turn, turn. Long turn, turn. Whoop. Come up good. Long turn, turn. 3/4 turn, turn. Quarter turn, turn. Oh, it's not. Only one foot. Long turn, turn. Front leg, quarter turn, turn. Short turn, turn. Good. All right. Well done. Okay. The final one that Mr. Hunt's got, which we have in front stance a little bit, is step out. Okay. So step out for a fighting stance is basically your front foot becomes your back. Yeah. So you're going to take that front foot and put it behind you. Okay? And you end up changing your direction by a quarter. Okay? So if I'm facing this way, put it behind me, I'm facing this way. Okay?
Some mistake I have seen usually is putting the front leg correctly to the side, but then this previous back leg now swing open. That's not quite a step out. Okay? So the front leg goes to the side, and then the other leg will just scoot back until you're in fighting stance again.
Make sure to keep that knee bent. Absolutely. In a front stance, it's a little different. It looks like this. Okay? All I'm doing is switching my front leg becomes my back leg. So technically we've done the exact same thing. Okay? My front leg becomes my back leg. And all I'm doing is switching my hips. Okay? You can see how I'm switching my hips and switching the direction of my feet. So in a front stance, that's how we are doing it, okay? So those are your turns, okay? Feel free to go back and practice. I wish I had like a drone video from above so you can see the triangles and things like that, but maybe next time we'll be more sophisticated. Okay, so that is fundamentals for today. We're not going to belabor that point. We've done enough fundamentals for one outing. But what we're going to work on now is kicks. We're going to work the hook series, okay? So we're going to start at 9th gulp looking at our regular hook, either a front leg hook or a rear leg hook. Then we're going to work up to 4th gulp and 3rd gulp with our back hooks and our spinning back hooks. Now, what's important to know about a hook is it is designed to get around a target, okay, and hit the back side of the target. So a hook is really a couple of things. It could be to get back into the back of Mr. Hunt and smack him in the gills, okay? It could be to get around a weapon of some sort. That could be holding, okay? And get to an elbow to be able to get that elbow out of the way, all right? It could be a rib shot, okay? So if he's facing the opposite direction and he's attacking someone of mine, I could come in here with a rib shot there. So it's designed to get around something. So as you do these hooks, one of the mistakes that I see is folks going out and back, okay? And out and back does not get around something. So when I was learning this, I was told to pull my leg. You're trying to pull through a target and bring your leg back to the back. So whether you're doing it from a front leg, as Mr. Hun's about to do, show us there, okay? See how he's bringing it out and around and pulling it back through. Very important to scoop. So this is really a scooping sort of mechanism, okay? So this is from the front leg. Good. Now, one difficult piece is to make sure that you don't turn your back to your target. I do see a lot of this. As people are hooking through, they do this, okay? You don't want to rotate to give your back to the target. You want to keep your eyes on the target, okay? And keep your shoulders facing forward so that as I come through, I'm still in line for the target. If I throw that and there's my back, I've just given my target my back, okay? And I'm not prepared. So when you're doing your hook, make sure you are bringing it forward, okay? To do your hook from your rear leg, really want to focus on your base foot on the front side, okay? Because what's critical is as you go to pick that leg up, it's turning that base foot. At a minimum, you want to turn 90 degrees and be facing the opposite angle, okay? The more you turn, the more likely your back is going to be exposed. I tend to limit it to that 45, but I don't have very flexible knees. Some people can turn it all the way around and still maintain a forward posture. So rotating that base foot, getting your rear butt cheek facing the bad guy, scooping, pulling all the way through and putting it back down, okay? So that's your rear leg. All right, so even you advanced students, you need to throw a few of these. So we're gonna all throw a few kicks together. What I'm gonna do is go through, for the fourth ups, your back hook, okay? So there's a lot of confusion sometimes between the back hook and the spinning back hook. The back hook is actually a linear kick with a circular component, whereas a spinning back hook is a fully circular kick, okay? What I mean by that is your back hook is actually a side kick that hooks through the target, okay? Now, obviously, if you're going to hook through the target, you don't want to throw your side kick at the target, okay? So if Mr. Hung is my target, I don't want to throw my side kick straight to him because then I have nothing to hook, really, unless my foot gets stuck in his uniform, okay? So I want to throw my back side kick to the side of my target and hook through him. So as I throw this back side, then I can hook him to the back side, okay? So done in front, you want to throw that back side to the side, then, it's hard to do, and then hook it through. Very hard to do without feet. So I'm going to grab a two-handed pattern real quick. Teardrop pattern, okay? So if Mr. Hunt holds this, and you can do this at home, set your eyes on a specific target, throw your back side to the side of it, then hook through that imaginary target, okay? So making sure there's that linear component followed by the circular hook through, okay? Does that make sense? That makes sense? Okay. I know you can't tell me it makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna throw one, okay? We're gonna both do these to the front when we get there. The third kick is your spinning back hook. Unlike your back hook, which has that linear component first, then circular, your spinning back hook is spinning from the get-go. It is circular from the get-go. Like any spinning kick, we want to have our arms in tight. We want to pull them through our hips, and we want to make sure that we are not releasing that back leg until we come through, okay? Because if we release it here, then I am going to target too early. If I release it once I've pulled myself all the way to the maximum of my spin, then that leg comes through, okay? Couple of things. When you are spinning through, try to keep your head up, okay? Big mistake is this one, okay? As I spin, I drop my head as I try and do this. All that does is take my balance off, okay? So as I come through, I want to try as much as I can to stay as upright as I can, Good. All right, make sense? Okay. Trying to think of some other notes that I've got. Whether you
Let's see it from the side.
Oh, from the side. Okay. So if I'm here, again, I want to pull my arms all the way through. All right. And then I want to lift this leg and hooking it through. And I'm spinning and hooking the whole time, not linear, then hook. Okay. This is one of my absolute favorite kicks of all time. So pulling that round. And the more you pull through your thigh, the faster and more powerful this kick is going to be. Okay? Make sense? Okay, so we are going to do 4 different versions. Okay? Mr. Hung is going to do the front leg hook and the rear leg hook. I'm going to do the back hook and the spinning back hook. And what we're going to do is we're going to alternate. Okay? We do one hook. Wait, no, what am I going to do? Sorry. He's going to do hook and I'm going to do back hook. We're going to do 10 on each side. Then we're going to do rear leg hook and I'm going to do spinning back hook. Now, 10 on a side. I think I'm probably going to do 5 on one side and 5 on the other, as opposed to spinning all the way through. All right, are you ready? I'm doing back hook, he's doing front leg hook. Ready? And 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And I'm going to switch. And 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. Excuse me. And 5. Good. Excellent. All right. So I go. Ready, 5 and 5? Now you do 10 and 10. Did you do both sides?
No.
You did one side. Okay. I'm going to move on to the spinning hooks. Okay. If you are a 3rd gup or a 4th gup, if you're a 4th gup, continue on doing your back hooks. Okay. If you are a 9th gup, you can move on. You can continue to do these ones. I'm getting myself confused. Do the ones that are at your rank. Okay. Good job. All right. I'm going to do the spinning back hooks. You're going to do the rear leg. Okay. Are you ready? And 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. Woo, missed that one. Other side. And 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. Good. I hope you're as dizzy as we are, or as I am at least, and you haven't knocked anything off on your furniture in your house, because that would be bad, okay? Did you get front and back leg done?
I got back leg done.
You got back leg done. You haven't done any front leg?
Front leg needs to have other side.
Oh, well then let's not worry about that. If you need some help with those, feel free to write us a note, send us a letter, say this is what I'm challenged with, these are the parts of those techniques that I'm struggling with, and we can go further on those in future videos, okay? And we have about 15 minutes left. We just wanted to run through quickly our strike combos, okay? We do a lot of training of the techniques individually. I want to make sure that we're doing the combos as whole pieces so that when you get to those, you know the combo for your rank, okay? Mr. Hung is going to grab, hopefully, what all of you have in your house, which is a cushion, okay? So this is our big, lovely strike pad, okay? And so our first combo is our white belt combo, okay? So hopefully the white belts have a certain fragment of this, but when you get through your yellow stripe, you'll get the whole combo. Now, first one, front punch, reverse punch. What we're looking for is making sure you're turning that back foot on that reverse punch rather than just this, okay? Making sure we're looking for thumbs being down, right? When you're doing your front and your reverses, you want to make sure you've got good fist formation, okay? So front punch, reverse punch. Second 2 techniques, hook uppercut, okay? Grandmaster went over hook uppercut yesterday. We're going to come through hooking here with an uppercut here. Again, your uppercut, we want to see that back leg driving through, squishing the bug, and coming up underneath your target. If you're coming up through to the guts, that's fine. If you're coming up under the chin, finish the strike, okay? We don't want to stop the strike at the target. We want to finish it, go through the target, okay? Next, so front punch, reverse punch, hook, uppercut, palm heel, front elbow, front knee, okay? Want to make sure that you are not shorting the strike. What I mean by that is a lot of times when you're showing us the palm heel, front elbow portion, that palm heel gets shorted, meaning it becomes this weird little touch with a big, strong elbow. Make sure they are strong strikes in and of themselves, okay? So when you're doing your combo, make sure each single technique has its own power and drive. Does that make sense? That makes sense, Mr. Brown? Okay, all right. So I'm going to hold this, and you're just going to do 3 on the side, your right leg strike combo.
Start with front, reverse, hook, uppercut, front hand palm heel, back hand front elbow, and front knee. Again. Now, if you have if you're paying close attention, you will see that I'm moving my hip a whole bunch, and that would be correct. It is designed to move your hip back and forth, and you're alternating side. Okay? So I start with this hand doing front punch, the other hand do the other technique, the other hand do other technique. Again, you're changing hand so that it flows together, and you're using your hip to drive the technique, not just your arm muscle.
All right, great. So I'm going to grab a regular pad at this point. I think we have made the point clear that whatever you have at your home, you should use. Second combo is your yellow belt strike combo, okay? So with this one, this combo is more about your elbow strikes, okay? And making sure your footwork for your different elbow strikes is correct. First technique is back fist, okay? When you're doing and throwing your back fist, we want to make sure that you're actually using your back knuckles, super knuckles, okay? Not the back of your hand. If you're using the back of your hand, you're going to injure your back of your hand. It's not going to deliver the force that you require. It's not going to have that pinpoint force that you want out of the back of that back knuckle. So you're going to rotate your wrist backwards as you throw that back fist, okay? Back fist, hammer fist. Again, this is another rear-legged, turning, hip-rotating, squish the bug technique, okay? The more you throw this, the more power you can generate. Back fist, hammer fist, okay? Then we're going to do a slap, all right? A slap is not your regular slap. Well, when we're slapping, we're only using the top section of our hand, from our top knuckles, inside palm, on up, okay? Your thumb is down and out of the way, and we are smacking. I have a shoulder injury, so that hurt. We're smacking that through, okay? So we've got back fist, hammer fist, rotate back through with that slap. Now we're going to do our elbow strikes. Inside elbow, outside elbow, back, okay? So when we're doing our elbows, inside, outside, turn, back elbow, that's what you want to make sure that you're getting really good strike. Personally, when I'm delivering an elbow strike, I would not do it from a rear side. I would want to do it from a front side because elbow strikes in and of themselves are short range strikes, okay? So in order to throw a rear-handed elbow strike, I have to close distance. Whereas if I'm throwing it from a front hand, I can stay where I am. This is one of those things that the way we are training with this combination is purely so that we can test you on these techniques in a very short and concise manner. When you are training your elbow strikes, you need to make sure you're training them front side as well as rear side. All right? So Mr. Hahn, you want to throw a couple of those combos?
Again, we're going to start and we're going to Switch hand for the first half of this combo. So back fist, counter fist, slap. Now for the elbow, you're done by switch hand. It's going to be the same arm that does it. Okay. Again, back fist, counter fist, slap. Inside elbow, outside elbow, back elbow, counter fist, back fist, counter fist, slap. Inside elbow, outside elbow, back elbow. On that back elbow, I'm only using one arm. Okay, I see some people using two arms for this, but it's a single-handed technique. Okay. So for the back elbow, I'll move the back hand, move back, back elbow. Okay. I reach forward, go straight back. Reach forward, go straight back. The second hand is not needed, okay, for this back elbow. So the full combo again. Front hand start, back fist, down fist, slap, inside elbow, outside elbow, back elbow.
Good. Excellent. All right, so that is your yellow belt strike combo, okay? Then we have green belt strike combo, all right? So your green belt strike combo is about your knives and your ridge hands, okay? It's about which side of your hand are you using. Now, this combo, I probably should give you this, shouldn't I? Although you might need some padding. All right, so we're gonna start off with a knife hand. And I see a lot of folks just kind of throwing that knife hand. And your fingers wiggle and they look like they're hurt. And you wanna make sure that you have a nice, stiff hand for your knife hand. So that as you come through, it doesn't create a shock wave through your fingers, okay? So nice tight hand. So knife hand, ridge hand. Now remember with your ridge hand is not a big, wide, arcing hand. Similar to a hook punch, it comes out straight and then it's a pullback strike, okay? This is designed, a ridge hand is really designed to strike the back of someone's head. So when we're doing our knife hand, ridge hand as part of our combination, I see a lot of people do this. It becomes this big, wide arcing. What we're looking for is making sure knife hand, ridge hand. So you're punching it out and pulling it through the target, okay? So keep an eye out for that when you're doing your combo. So knife hand, ridge hand, okay? Corner palm heel, similar to your regular palm heel, but done with the corner of your hand, okay? Corner palm heel, trying to remember. Sickle hand, okay? Sickle hand, ridge hand done in an underhand motion, okay? Now, couple of common errors. People go from corner palm heel with their hand here, and they go like this, okay? There's no power in that. There's no force in that. So when you're throwing your sickle hand, make sure you're bringing your arm back and coming through. And as I come through, my hip and my sickle hand are coming through at the exact same time to my target, okay? If, this is the second part of the error, if I reach out in front, I'm putting huge amounts of strain on that wrist, and I'm not able to hit as hard as I could, okay? So as I come through with my sickle hand, some people go all the way around. That's a lot of wasted energy. But if you come through, I want to make sure your hip and your sickle hand are coming through at the same time, okay? See the difference in power versus that? That also hurts. So don't do that, okay? So we've got knife hand, ridge hand, corner palm heel, sickle hand. Do they have shoulder? And a shoulder shot, okay? Now, a couple things about this shoulder shot, all right? I see a lot of people pushing, okay? They get their sickle hand and then they go like this. It's a strike, okay? It's a pullback strike, all right? You saw how the first time I did it, I was able to make Mr. Hung move. And that's because I pull here, I pull my shoulder back enough to give him a shot. And it's my whole of my upper body shotting through that shoulder, okay? So it is actually quite a powerful strike. If someone's in close contact to you, giving them a shoulder shot can really get them far away. I'm gonna let you do a combo for me, all right? All right?
Okay. I'm saying front hand going first, knife hand, wrist hand, corner palm hand, sickle hand. Knife, ridge, corner palm hand, sickle hand, shoulder.
All right, so that's your green belt combination, okay? So a couple little keys on that. We're getting close to running out, so I think that blue belt combo is going to be the last one that I do, okay? Sorry, red belts. We're going to have to do those another night. Blue belt combo is actually one of my favorite combos, okay? Because I get the headbutt. I love to headbutt. So blue belt combo, we're starting off first with our outside forearm strike, correct? Okay, so we're starting off with our outside forearm strike. Now, what's the point of an outside forearm strike? It's to clear people out of the way, okay? This is not a huge strike. If it was, I'd use an elbow, all right? But if this is going to be a push strike, this is a strike. So I'm just trying to go back in. What I was doing there is using from wrist to elbow throughout here. The main force of my push is coming from the middle part of my forearm. I'm stepping in, I'm driving through, and I'm pushing, okay, as I come through. Now, it can be a very forceful strike. Boom, all right? And right to the midsection, it can hurt with the air. But that's a really good people moving strike. So, first strike for this one, outside forearm strike. Second strike, double cupped ears. What are we trying to do? Below someone's eardrums, okay? Mess with their equilibrium, have them fall to the ground. But when you're doing your double cups, what we're looking for is that you have cupped hands like this, not flat hands. And that's one of the errors that we see when people do this strike, is that they come through and they come through with flat hands, okay? And especially if they're doing this on the pad, it becomes exacerbated. So what we want to see is those cupped hands, as if you're really cupping over someone's eardrums, okay? So, outside forearm strike, double cups, then headbutt, okay? We are using this part of our head to drive up and through, all right? Up and through the target, not smash, okay? We're not smashing them. We are getting here underneath their head, driving through, yes? Hard to do on Mr. Hung, I'm not going to do that to him. Easier to do on a bob, easier to do in air. Here, we're going up and through. After you've done your headbutt, we're then doing a roundhouse knee, is that correct? So, roundhouse knee, just like a roundhouse kick. Your knee comes up to your target, okay? Unlike a roundhouse where the force comes from your foot, in this case, the force is coming from the knee, all right? So as you come, I want to get a good grip on this guy, okay? I don't want to grip here, okay, because then it's in the wrong place. When I'm gripping for a roundhouse knee, I want to grip the opposite side, so that as I throw that, they're not going anywhere, and the full force of my knee is felt, okay? If I don't do anything, as soon as I hit, they get free to go away, and therefore the force isn't concentrated. So if I hold on to him here, and I pull him into my strike, similar to when we do a front knee, and I pull him into my knee here, same sort of concept. Here, boom, roundhouse knee. So your blue belt combo, what we're looking for is making sure that roundhouse knee is, as I turn, I'm turning that base foot as well, because that's what you're doing with a roundhouse, remember? You need to turn that base foot to bring that knee up to kick. Same thing with a roundhouse knee. I want to see that base foot turn so that I can throw that knee strike, okay? I believe that's the whole combo. Oh, elbows, sorry, this is the fun part. So you've gotten your outside forearm strike, cupped hands, headbutt, roundhouse knee. Then we're going to go up, upward elbow,